Okay, y'all, we need to have a conversation about Wendy Williams because there is something seriously fishy going on with her. We all know that Wendy Williams has been out of work for a hot minute now and hasn't been making all that money. Now, under normal circumstances, this wouldn't be a big deal because she has been working hard since the 90s and has enough money saved up. Well, these aren't normal circumstances because she is currently under a court-ordered conservatorship and doesn't have access to her own money. The court awarded guardianship to a woman named Sabrina Morrissey, but there has been a lot of controversy surrounding the guardianship because people believe that Sabrina might be taking advantage of Wendy. The concerns grew stronger a couple of days ago when we found out that she has sold Wendy's New York penthouse for a ridiculously cheap amount. People started digging into the situation, and let's just say that it looks even worse. For those who don't know, this issue started after Wendy's bank, Wells Fargo, decided to deny her access to her account, saying that she was incapacitated and couldn't handle her own finances. Wendy fought back hard for this, claiming that there was nothing wrong with her, but the bank didn't let it go. Unfortunately, she lost the fight and was placed in a court-ordered conservatorship. Her family was the first to cry out over this, with her brother revealing that the family wasn't being carried along regarding Wendy's status. When it was revealed that Wendy was going to start a podcast, her brother put Sabrina and Wendy's team on blast, accusing them of using her and forcing her to work when she clearly wasn't in the right frame of mind. He said, "This is not a woman who is in the right frame of mind to get a show going. Why are you even here? Do you see the condition she's in? Does it look like she's ready to start a podcast, for goodness sake? It doesn't. Whatever they do with it, they're going to do. It's going to be sad. I can't blame Wendy for anything. I want her to get better. She is not better. So I can't be mad at her for any of this." There were more reports that Wendy was being kept away from her family, but the situation got worse when we found out that Wendy was selling off her personal items. An insider leaked this, saying, "Wendy has been calling people asking them to help sell all her stuff. She is asking for recommendations on places that can sell furniture for you." The insider added that in her preparation for her move, she wanted to see how she could list items in her home, which could potentially include her iconic purple chair, among other keepsakes. This didn't make any sense because if there is one thing that we knew about Wendy, it's that she loved her purple chair more than anything. I mean, it was one of the few things that she fought to have from the set of the Wendy Williams show after she got fired. So why would she turn around and sell it? The story that Sabrina put out was that Wendy was doing a spring cleaning and wanted to sell off her items. Her publicist released a statement on her behalf that said, "Wendy is getting rid of items for spring cleaning. This is what people do this time of year. It's a new chapter for Wendy and she wants new things. This is a common gesture people do, and Wendy is no different. It is out with the old and in with the new." However, people didn't buy this because if Wendy was so sick to the point where she needed to be put into a conservatorship and needed to be taken away from her family, how on earth was she suddenly capable of making decisions to sell her personal items? The math wasn't mathing, and people started to speculate that there was something hella shady going on. We finally got to see firsthand just how bad things were in her documentary, and girl, it was really bad. It was clear from the first couple of scenes that Wendy wasn't in the best shape of mind. She literally started off by claiming that she had gone broke and had nothing left to her name, which kind of sounded like she was still struggling with her drinking.
She was put in front of a judge and given a guardian. That was when they took her away from us.
I have no money, and I'm gonna tell you something. If it happens to me, it could happen to you.
As her family, we were all sitting on the sidelines watching, and she was crying out for help.
Keep it there.
Okay.
Keep it there.
In the same documentary, her son Kevin Jr. also claimed that he didn't believe that the guardian was taking care of Wendy, and he thought she was leaving Wendy open to be taken advantage of.
I feel like the guardian has not done a good job of protecting my mom.
My life. My life.
Right now, she's weak and vulnerable, and she needs to be around people who aren't going to take advantage of that.
Interestingly, back in 2022, Wendy's ex Kevin Hunter was the first to call out her guardian Sabrina for taking advantage of her. At the time, we didn't pay him a lot of attention because he was also fighting to get his hands on Wendy's money. He said, "Wendy was in rehab and these people just stopped depositing my money cold turkey. These people have tried to starve me out. At the end of the day, I earned that money. I'm not letting them take it. I know she is not in a good place and she is surrounded by people who are taking advantage of her condition, including this so-called guardianship." Wendy's state in the documentary was so concerning that people immediately started to ask for answers. Her sister and niece then came forward to claim that Sabrina had cut Wendy off from her family and they needed to go through Sabrina every time they needed to speak to Wendy. Her sister, Wanda Finney, claimed that the last time her family had seen her was in 2021, saying, "When she was in Florida, there was a number of people involved. Even beyond family, there were doctors involved and people in Wendy's professional world were involved. She had a health team in place, nurses in place, and she had family in place. She was getting healthier." She also said, I don't think there's anyone Wendy needed more than her family. Separate the money part, all I want to know is that my sister is going to live and that she's going to be healthy. The concern of the family has always been Wendy's health. Wendy's niece, Alex Finney, also discussed the extreme measures that Wendy's guardian took to keep away from her family. Alex claimed that Wendy is required to call her family members from a blocked phone number, meaning they can't reach out directly to her. Alex also said, and I say this honestly, we went through birthdays, we went through holidays, we went through illness. There was a period when my grandfather was in the hospital. There was no way to contact her and let her know what was going on with her 93-year-old father. This was suspicious AF because why on earth did Wendy need to be cut off from every single member of her family? Fans started to speculate that maybe Wendy was being alienated from her family because it made it easier to manipulate her and take control of her life. Because not letting her family or even her own son have her phone number is just a little too far. Well, the next thing we knew, it was announced that Wendy had been diagnosed with dementia. According to her doctor, in 2023, after undergoing a battery of medical tests, Wendy was officially diagnosed with primary progressive aphasia and frontotemporal dementia. Her symptoms, which combined impact her language and communication, behavior, and cognitive functions, have already presented significant hurdles in Wendy's life. In the time that has passed since, Sabrina has continued to make decisions for Wendy, but the recent one that got people talking was when she sold Wendy's New York penthouse to settle some of her debt. If you know Wendy, then you know that she loved that penthouse, and she often referred to it as her dream apartment. So fans were shocked when it was sold for less than what she bought it for. She bought the apartment for almost $4.6 million in 2021, and it just sold for $3.75 million. To be fair, she was hit with a tax lien for the apartment a couple of months ago, so this might explain why it needed to be sold, but then other apartments in the building are selling for upwards of $5 million. So the fact that hers sold for that low is just suspicious on so many levels. It is even worse because Wendy has no say in the matter because it's up to Sabrina to make the calls. And it doesn't matter if Wendy wants to sell or not. But that's not the worst part because now that Wendy has lost her home, she has nowhere to go. Fans commented, Wendy's niece is a news anchor and her sister is an attorney. Why is this white woman a guardian over her money and paying for a documentary that shows her health is not being put first? This is so shameful. The judge, the guardian, and everyone exploiting her is simply disgusting. I wonder if the guardian sold it at a loss while accepting cash payment from the seller. Whatever the case be, I hope health, peace, and the best for Wendy. No one deserves that. And this some BS. There needs to be an investigation. This is of a vulnerable person. This is heartbreaking, but y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, then check out this next video.